Hall of Fame inductee from the class of 2023. Let's welcome into the class, Joseph Gray. Joseph graduated from Rice High School in 2002. In cross country, Gray took 22nd place as a sophomore before making an impressive leap to second place as a junior. In track and field, Gray took third place in the 3,200 meters as a senior. Gray's athletic journey continued at the collegiate level, where he competed first for the Pilots from the University of Portland, followed quickly by the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Joseph Gray helped those Cowboys become one of the top cross-country teams in the country in 2005 and 2006. After college, he took his talents to the trails. He would be recognized as the greatest mountain runner of all time. A 33-time USA national team member, Gray clinched the USA Mountain Running National Champion title 8 times and was named USA Mountain Runner of the Year 11 times. I don't know about anybody else in this room, but I hear running and mountain and I want to run away. Not easy. Gray, equally recognized for his off-the-track contributions, especially his commitment to fostering diversity in the sport. Gray's induction into the Hall of Fame is a testament to his character and impact beyond the sports arena. His legacy is one of excellence, resilience, and he has inspired thousands in the sporting world. Inducted into the Hall of Fame, the class of 2023, ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Gray.
Oh man, I'm already emotional. I've been inducted in a number of Hall of Fames, and this one's real special for multiple reasons. The roots of my career, it all began here in Washington. I have so many people to thank, and sorry if I jump around. It's a really special moment for me because, I mean, I've never been to a ceremony where I've had so many of my supporters, guys that, when I tell you it's special, there are people who were here from the very beginning, and I'll get into it specifically, but the beginning of when I wasn't an athlete, we're just racing out in the streets in flip-flops in the grass with no shoes on and stuff, and I'll get into that story later, but I want to thank the WIAA. I'm from Lakewood, so what you guys have done in terms of the infrastructure and provided a platform for athletes to display their talents, and also events like this to recognize the excellence in our state. Thank you. Our state is very special. We've had a number of professional athletes come from here, our state in multiple sports. I think it's one of the best states to be an athlete in my sport. You look at our weather, we got the best weather for cross country. We got the toughest courses. There's a reason why a lot of college coaches are looking for athletes in our state because we run real courses. I remember when I went to college, I was, especially at Oklahoma State, I was considered like maybe number 5, 6 on the team or something based on times. And there was a couple guys from like Texas and Oklahoma, and you see the courses that they run there. It's flat, it's hard, packed, nice and quick, no wind. And you come here, you go to where our state championship was out in, correct me if I'm wrong, but I got some teammates. I think it's Pasco. Correct. We had wind, thick grass, and hills, and so you could be running a minute slower than some of these other states, and so needless to say, I showed that our state was one of the strongest very quickly. I want to start with my family. My mother and father are here. You probably see my father, he's bouncing around. He's the camera guy. Everybody knows my dad's been with the cameras for years. But the lessons I learned specifically from my mother in terms of seeing my mom do a lot of hard things in life, the way she came up. She didn't cry about it, she didn't whine about it. I very quickly learned how to get over losses and failures. And I think that's very important when you talk about competing at the professional level, because you're not gonna win all the time. And you're gonna have some bad days and you're gonna underperform. And so I love you, Mom. Thank you for those lessons. My father, I'm gonna keep my mouth clean, but everybody know my father. He was a tough dude back in the day. He's an infantryman, you know, army man, you know, served many years in the military for our country, but my dad was a tough dude. When I was coming up, he taught me a lot of hard lessons about dexterity, fortitude. I love you, Pops, for that. Without some of those early lessons, I would have never made it to where I'm at, especially just facing adversity, facing losses and having to come back from that. I would have never learned how to do that without you. Thank you. I love you too. I want to get to my rib, my wife. First of all, let me thank Cindy and Jim, my parents-in-law. Without them, I would have never met her, of course. She's been a rock. She's been there from the very beginning. I have much money. Living pretty bad. Not a nice house. She was still there. She rode with me all the way. She showed sacrifice when I said I was going to move and join another pro group and miles away. She signed up for it, came along. She's been there. If I need a massage therapist, she's always been more than a lover. She had to be a manager. She had to be my Expedia sometimes on trips when things go wrong and I miss a flight in a random country and I got to wake her up at 2 in the morning over here. I'll be forever in debt to you for that. You've been ride or die, and I got you for life as well. And thank you for the 2 beautiful children. Next, I want to get on to the roots of it all. I said earlier, people I'm racing out in the streets with, no shoes, no socks on. The early years of track and field, when I was basically a basketball player, I had a friend who I'm very blessed is here in attendance today, TJ Golson. TJ was the man in track when we were kids, and he really inspired me. He's kind of the one who first pulled me into, coming to some track races and joining track. And I was kind of a sprinter at first, and so was he. And all of a sudden, the next person I want to thank is Mark Brinkhouse, my first middle school coach. Great guy. So many lessons that I learned from him in terms of giving back to your community and being selfless. And when I say selfless, there's a lot of people who think they're selfless. They think they're doing things for the community, but they want praise for it, or they want people to acknowledge it. I've never seen Brinkhouse do that. And I try to mimic that when I do my community projects. I don't want people to know necessarily what I'm doing. I'm doing this to help my community. And I learned that from Mark Brinkhouse. Great guy. He's always been involved in wearing many hats in the community. He took a bunch of misfits from, you guys probably, some of you in here know Woodbrook Middle School, but pretty crappy school in a very interesting neighborhood. He took a bunch of misfits, put them together, and we had an amazing team, and we won our first, district title back then. And from there, it blossomed. I went to high school. I was first at Clover Park High School. Learned a lot of lessons there. And then I ended up moving to the other side of Lakewood, and I was going to Lakes High School. And, I want to first acknowledge my teammates. A bunch of them are back here, and I want to specifically get onto a few of them, but I want to thank Coach Clark. He was my coach all through, the elite years of high school, I would say, where I really learned the lessons of what work ethic was in this sport. I didn't realize the training I was doing before wasn't going to prepare me to be a top guy in the nation. Clark introduced me to what real training was. Without that, I definitely wouldn't have made it to college. I wouldn't have gotten a full ride. And Thank you, Clark. Man, you opened my eyes to a lot of beautiful things about the sport, how to train, how to be disciplined. He didn't take a lot of nonsense. And, you know, I was immature at the time, and Clark kept me honest and kept me on my toes. The same with our head track coach, Coach Stewart back here. He didn't play around as well. He was a lot like my father, so he kept us in line, and I want to thank him as well. And specifically, I want to thank a few individuals at Lakes High School. The reason, I mean, I could thank all of them. They're all great guys, but there's specifically some teammates that I want to recognize that are here today. First, I want to start with Mr. Reed. Kevin Reed was a star runner, especially in the Lakewood area. You know, when I was a freshman, I knew of Kevin. Everybody knew of Kevin. He was running everywhere. If you saw someone running in Lakewood, it was probably Kevin. When I transferred, you know, I wasn't too sure about joining the enemy in essence. You know, I went to Clover Park. Lakes is a very big rival. They're on the other side of town. So I thought people probably wouldn't be too happy about me going there, and there wouldn't be a warm welcome. I'm at my new house, and I don't know how Kevin found out, but he runs everywhere, so he probably somehow found that I lived there. Kevin comes by, and he invites me to come do some summer training with him, and that kind of set the tone. And from there, you know, the team was super warm, and been close with a number of those guys. Even today, you know, we're all much older now, so it's something that I'm very blessed to have those people in my life still today and thankful for. So thanks, Kevin, for that. And also I want to recognize my boy, Dan Weldon, Wiaa. Goofy kid, first day of practice, I joined the team, and you know, I'm coming from Clover Park. We didn't have a personality like Dan on the team. I was probably the silliest one, and I was pretty reserved at the time. Dan's goofy, has this blonde hair, singing, doing a bunch of silly stuff, bopping around. And I'm thinking, man, what kind of team am I on? This goofy dude is on my team, man. Sure enough, Dan was one of the next guys on the team who really made me feel at home and like family, you know, and he is like family today, to this day. Really opened the door to me and welcomed me to the team, invited me to his house and stuff. And you know, the roots at Lakes were very important to me in terms of where my career is today. And I can't thank you guys enough, man. Everybody that's here in attendance, man. I appreciate y'all showing up. I know this is the middle of the day. Y'all got lives. Almost all of us have family and kids or wives or something that we got to get back home to. I can't thank y'all enough for being here and showing the love. Also, last thing I wanted to say too. I want to thank my son. I want to make sure that I put this out there in terms of where my career is today. In 2019, I had an injury, pretty bad injury. It was my option year for one of my sponsors. So if things didn't go well, the option year usually means the company is not going to pick you back up at the end of that year. So I'm injured. I really saw no end in sight for that injury. And I remember one day I'm just scrolling on my phone looking at, you know, I don't know if anybody else can relate, but you know, if you're sad or depressed about something, you just scroll on your phone looking at something, you don't even know what the heck you're looking at. And I'm just on my phone, sitting on the stairs. My son was, you know, just born the year before, the little dude. He runs up to me and puts his hand on my shoulder. And, you know, at the time I was thinking about retirement, thinking about doing something different. That moment, I don't know, as soon as he touched me, it almost felt like electricity, but it inspired me, and I was like, man, I don't want to quit. I want my son to have something to look up to. I want to inspire my son. I don't want him to think I'm a quitter, even though I felt like I've had a long career, but I was like, I'm quitting right now. In essence, I'm like looking at the other side of the tunnel. And when he touched me, it opened my eyes, and I said, you know what, I'm going to fight back I want to get on that world team. I want to go to the national championships and make the team and go to the world championships, even if I don't think I can be the best. And not only did I win the national championship that year and made the team, I won the world championships again in mountain running and becoming the only American who's done it twice. And so thank you, Isaiah, for the inspiration. I'm going to take too much more time. thank you everybody for being here again. Thank you to the WIAA again for giving us this platform. Thank you.
Well done, Joseph. Come on up front there. Make sure you smile to your dad. Good video. Dads do that so we don't get nervous. That's what we do. We do video so we don't get nervous.
The ones you got to watch out for are the grandparents. Last year we were at a baseball game and these video game changers with live video, and my dad said some things he shouldn't have said. But just remember, you're always on camera, grandparents. All right.